What's going on, everybody?
Let's talk Thursday night football. We've got a big one. We've got a grudge match, NFC North matchup between Sage's Detroit Lions.
Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, lawyers for the injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PLAYBOOKSPORTS on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video.
And the Green Bay Packers. The current line as of right now is Detroit minus 1.5 on the road. Detroit on the year is 2-1 against the spread. Green Bay is 1-2 against the spread. At this point in time, it really seems like this is the NFC North battle for who's going to win the division. Because the Vikings 0-3 and the Bears 0-3. The Vikings, hilarious. 0-3, 3 one-score losses. That is what you get. I hope you enjoyed last season, Minnesota. I hope you enjoyed that shit.
Yeah, used all your damn wins in 1 year. Yeah.
Yep, it completely flipped this year. As you are 0-3 with 3 one-score losses, which is
They're trying to get
hilarious.
Caleb Williams and Jay Jetta together.
That's gross. That would be gross. Like,
Well,
really gross.
Let's please not let that happen.
Oh, man. Currently, I did just look at this before we go into our picks for this one. I did look at like injury stuff. I know the Packers that was a tough win last week against the Saints. No Christian Watson, no Aaron Jones, no Jair Alexander, no David Bakhtiari. I mean, that's 4 of their best players. All 4 of them were out. And Jordan Love showed a little something in that game, coming back and winning that one, 18 in the fourth. Yes, if Derek Carr doesn't get hurt, I think the Saints win that game, and the Saints are 3-0. I think we can say that pretty fairly confidently. But all of a sudden, the Saints couldn't move the ball, and the Packers started rolling. And once they started rolling, they were hard to stop. And then Detroit last week, coming off of a very dominant performance over Atlanta. 20-6, they held Bijan Robinson to 33 total or 33 rushing yards, which he hadn't been held to this season so far. Lions defense stepping up, which was good to see. I mean, Desmond Ridder stinks. Terrible quarterback. What are you guys' thoughts on this game?
I would say the Lions showed the Falcons script. Just stack that fucking box, and Desmond Ridder is going to have to play quarterback. You're in trouble. Just to talk about the Lions, though, I think it was great to see that their defense stepped up, having allowed 37 in the overtime loss to Seattle, bouncing back. I will say Goff at points had me question it, but at the end of the day, got it done. Want to see a little bit more of explosiveness in that game, but Atlanta's defense, they beefed it up. I like their secondary, and they can create a little pressure. So this is like you said, Nate, it's a huge game. It's the NFC North. Like, this is it. You win this game, you got the keys, you're driving.
Yep.
The Packers, that was a big win, like you said, with Derek Carr going down. That was a massive comeback for Love in the Packers because they sort of choked against the Falcons the week prior. I wouldn't say it was like a massive collapse, but they were up late. Falcons came back, snuck it out. I'm interested to see what Jaden Reed's what his role in the offense is going to be with Christian Watson coming back. Just potentially less snaps. I mean, he's been a dynamic player. Like, he's got to be out there with Dobbs and Watson because he looks elite. Getting Jones back is huge. I just think this is a statement game for the Lions, so I'm riding with the Lions here. We'll see. I would say this is Jordan Love's first true test. Where this is a game that really has big season implications for the rest of the year. And I don't know if the pressure's going to get to him, but I mean, he's got 7 touchdowns to 1 pick, but his completion percentage is just a little bit above 50.
Terrible.
So it's just, damn, there are times where it's like, okay, he's just growing pains potentially. I hope it's that he sucks, but it's probably growing pains where he just really needs to be out there. So I'll say there's a growing pain here. Yeah, I'm going to ride with the Detroit Lions in this game.
Yeah. You know who Jordan Love is, who the Packers were hoping Zach Wilson was going to be. He looks like Aaron Rodgers and how he throws the ball. He's changed up his throwing motion. I'm not going to sit here and compare him to Aaron Rodgers because that's insane. But like the Packers were hoping Zach Wilson was just going to be a sponge.
Or Jets. Jets,
Yeah,
right?
Jets. Sorry, the
Yeah,
Jets.
no, yeah.
Yeah, Jets were hoping Zach Wilson was just going to absorb from Aaron Rodgers. And it looks like Jordan Love may have a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
yeah.
saying
Some of
Jordan
the
Love is going to
throws,
be him.
some of the throws, like just like you said, the motion itself is like that's literally Rodgers. Like
it's
definitely
Rodgers.
told him to do this like that, and he said,
Yep.
"Yes, sir." Like I'm doing it.
He said,
Yeah.
"Done. I'm in."
Mhm.
There was a video I saw too on Twitter. It was, you know how Rodgers would always do like the play action handoff where he like hide the ball kind of behind his body and
Yeah.
then slowly bootleg, across body to his left. Jordan Love did that. It literally, they had a side by side, and it was like, holy shit, the Green Bay Packers cloned Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Because it was
That's
literally
really what it seems like.
identical. And so I don't know, sitting behind a Hall of Fame quarterback for 3 years might be beneficial.
Maybe
As
it
much
has.
as we were, shit talking it. So
Yeah. Colin, what are your thoughts on this game?
all right, so let me bore you with a couple of stats really quickly.
Yes.
I'll hammer through it. Facts and figures here on the Playbook
Facts
Sports
and figures
podcast.
on the show. Bingo.
So I was trying to get an edge, not only on the full game pick here, but also on some small picks. Last week I gave out Kirk Cousins over pass attempts, and then I gave out the over in the game on our podcast as well for the Thursday night preview. I got 2 more bets, and listen to me on the stats first. So Jordan Love in the first half of these games are way different than Jordan Love in the second half of these games. First half, Jordan Love, 47.7% completion compared to 57.7% in the second half. 224 passing yards first half compared to 431 second half. 2 touchdowns, no picks first half, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick second half. His first half quarterback ratings of 78.2 compared to a second half quarterback rating of 108.7. So drastically better second half compared to his first half. The Packers on the season have only scored 20 points as a team in the first half in their 3 games combined. They have a minus 12-point differential in the first half compared to 60 points scored as a team in the second half and a plus 30-point differential in the second half. So you get where I'm going with my picks here. Let's compare it to Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff first half, 70.7% completion, 503 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 120.1 rating. Compared to second half, it drops to 68.9, a little less than 2% drop. Only 316 passing yards in the second half. That drops almost 200 passing yards compared to his first half. Only 1 touchdown, 2 picks in the second half, and his passer rating drops from 120 to only 77.6. So I'm going first half Detroit Lions money line at minus 118 odds. I love that. I think they come out and let's compare the team actually further. 34 points scored in the first half for Detroit. They have a plus 7 first half point differential compared to the Packers minus 12. This is where Detroit gets you though. Second half, they've only scored 38 points compared to their 34 on the first half, minus 1 point differential the second half. Detroit is a much better first half team than a second half team, whereas the Packers are a much better second half team than a first half team. Give me Detroit first half money line minus 118, and also give me the first half under 22.5. Little prime time unders. These games stink when they're in the prime time, and it's a home division dog, Nate, which leads me to my full game pick. Give me the Packers plus 1.5 home division dog. Yes. I think they've had this game circled for a while. Obviously, players that are still on the Packers. This was a game last year that cost them a playoff chance. Yep. A home game against the Lions in the last week of the season. You win, you're in. You lose, you go home, and they lost. They went home. So I think the Packers is a nice little bounce back spot. But as Addison, you said, first really true test for Jordan Love, home division opponent, and this game could have a lot of implications on the division as well.
Yeah, I agree. I like all those stats. And I love that Detroit first half money line bet at minus 118. That feels like a hammer it, pay for the drinks kind of bet in my opinion.
I'll say the spread's 1.5 for the first half, so it's the same spread as it is for the whole game. So just give me the money line at minus 118 and any sort of fuckery with extra points or 2-point conversions. I
do want to shout out LaFleur because I'll say I think it was fair to give him a question. What's he going to be like without Rodgers running a show?
Yeah.
And to show that Jordan Love, clearly the adjustments they make at half, what they see, what they tell him at half, it's making a difference in what happens in the game in the second half, Colin, based on all those stats. So, I mean, good for LaFleur. I mean, didn't think he was a bad coach, don't get me wrong, but showing that he didn't need a Hall of Famer to run a good team and run a good system.
Maybe he can be all right. Yeah, I agree. Sage, tell me about your Detroit Lions and tell me about this game, what you got.
I'll tell you about my favorite part of the Detroit Lions. Is this new stud tight end they got over there, Sam Laporta, absolutely tearing it up. But not even just him, just a lot of their young guys are showing up in big moments. Jack Campbell had a hell of a game. Brian Boom Branch, because he lays down his shoulder and he takes down anyone that's in front of it. Oh, I'm loving most of their rookie class right now, which is really nice to rely on.
I love that draft.
They're only going to get better. Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't know what they have against that man running the football. I have no idea what their problem is with it. Maybe it's because he's under 200 pounds, but if that's it, just give him the rock. Like David Montgomery's coming back soon. Let's see what he got, you know? Right. No, but this game's a little harder to predict, especially because, like you said, home division dogs. We do love that here. And the Green Bay Packers, they were down 17 and came back to win this game last week against a top-notch defense. That's the reason I took the Saints last week, was because of that defense. I thought they'd be able to confuse them. And then all of a sudden the fourth quarter came around and they're throwing it over there to Jaden Reed and I can't even remember that other guy's name.
Romeo Dobbs, caught a couple.
Yeah, Romeo Dobbs. There's like Dontravius Winks or they got some wild people out there that I'm just like, who are you throwing to?
What?
And they're only going to get better too. They're growing and they're coming back a little bit healthier this week with Aaron Jones, hopefully playing. And then Christian Watson, he is such a high variance player. He could do nothing or he could go off. I'm a little worried about the CJ injury in Detroit's side. That's a little worrisome for me, just because he was supposed to be a staple in that defense. And then they still don't have anyone else to really throw to besides Laporta and Amon-Ra. And if Jair's back, do we know if he's coming back?
I don't know for sure yet.
Yeah, he's questionable right now.
I know, questionable. What does that mean?
It just means he's a little banged up, but I mean, that's just what do you feel, man? Yeah,
like I think the line is about right. Like this really is a pick 'em. And just because it's a pick 'em, give me Detroit. Just because I got a pretty big lead. I can go with my team.
I guess that's fair. When you have a double-digit lead 3 weeks in, you can just kind of toss a couple away, I'm sure. Must be nice.
Hey, your Dolphins know all about it.
It's true. I do. Hey, whatever.
So a couple more things to mention. First, Jared Goff outside versus indoors. Nice little stat differential to look at. Also, this is more for your Detroit Lions, Sage.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys for the whole draft night nonsense. You guys draft Jalen Carter at 6. You don't give him to Philly. You don't trade him DeAndre Swift for a bag of chips. And the Eagles are a totally different look. So, fuck you, Detroit.
It is interesting. Like, Detroit doesn't even use Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, DeAndre Swift looks awesome. Why not just keep DeAndre Swift around and take best player available at 6?
Here's the thing.
That seems crazy.
They could have kept that same pick and got Christian Gonzalez right now.
He looks insane.
Yeah.
Why did he slip?
Why did he slip?
Why did he slip?
Dude,
yeah.
Patriots, listen, Bill Belichick is such, and this is the last thing I'll say before I give my pick about Bill Belichick is such an evil scientist genius. Not only did he screw the Jets by letting the Steelers jump them and take the offensive lineman they wanted, which ultimately led to Rodgers' injury because their offensive line couldn't block for shit because they have 40-year-old Dwayne Brown out there trying to cut block on 2 artificial knees. And then he gets Christian Gonzalez to fall to him at 17. I mean, are you kidding me? Damn you, Bill Belichick. Damn you. I hate him. I mean, it was a master stroke, an absolute master stroke.
Well, and to add to that, he got Miami's pick vacated as well on top of all the Jets stuff he did. So,
I texted the wrong Brian. Idiot.
Dude's playing football off the field too. I love him.
God dang it.
Playing chess.
Anyways, home division dogs. You guys said it a bunch. I took Green Bay last week, and they did not cover the 2, which hurt my heart a little bit. But maybe they can roll that just a little something from that 18-point fourth quarter into this one. It's a big game. Their fans, their players all remember what cost them the playoffs last year. Detroit came into Lambeau and skunked them. I mean, embarrassed them. In Rodgers' last game as a Packer, Detroit came in and mopped the floor with them. I think that's sitting fresh in their minds right now. And it's a tough game. Like, it's good that it's a pick 'em because it should be. These are 2 teams that are playing decent football right now. They're both 2-1. They've had some gritty victories. I really liked Detroit's win over Atlanta last week, but I can't go against home division dog Green Bay this week. I'm going to make it a split. I'm going to ride with Colin and take the Packers plus the 1.5 right now. And I'm going to hope and pray that Christian Watson plays. If Christian Watson plays, like Sage said, he's boom or bust. He could catch 2 passes and one of them goes 80 yards and a touchdown, or he could be a non-factor the entire game. If Aaron Jones is back, that's big. A.J. Dillon has been like the biggest fraud handcuff for the last several years at this point. we've always said, well, if Aaron Jones gets hurt, at least they got AJ Dillon. He's done shit. He's done
How
a
is he
single
that
thing with this
much-
opportunity.
Like, how is he that much of a physical specimen and just not good at football?
Can't do it. He just can't do it. I don't know, man. He's great in very specific situations, and the Packers know that, and they use him in those very specific situations. They need Aaron Jones to catch passes out of the backfield. He's their Austin Eckler. They need Love's safety blanket and check down. And if he plays, I really like it. If he doesn't, then I agree. Flip a coin, and it could go either way. I think it's going to be a good game. Short week. It's probably going to go under. So whatever the over-under is, take it. They always do. But give me Green Bay in this one plus the 1.5. It's going to be a good game.
So, Nate, it's you and I on Green Bay and Sage Addison on Detroit.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to let you know formally up front, you are screwed because I am 0-3 picking for or against Green Bay this year. Week 1, I took the Bears in our pick. Packers won outright. Week 2, I took Atlanta minus 1.5. They won by 1. So Detroit covered the 1.5. And last week, I took Green Bay minus the 2. The first time I bet with them, and they won by 1. So I can't figure out Green Bay. So Detroit's going to win this game by 2 or more.
Clearly, yeah.
But I'm still sticking with the Packers.
Yeah, I can't change mine. I'm not changing it. I'm going to ride with them and regret it probably. That's a good point. But I will say Addison and Sage rode together last week twice, and we split them 1-1.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Right.
But it's going to be a good week, man. I was looking ahead at some of these games for week 4, and there were some really good games and some really bad games. But that's the NFL. It's going to be interesting. Hey, even the really bad games, though, they mean something this weekend. They mean something. So it's going to be
in the draft standings.
Exactly, right? Like I don't know how Denver can get out of Russell Wilson's contract. We'll talk more about this when we do our full show, but I think if Denver loses to the Bears, man, it's red button time. Blow it up. Everything.
That ain't happening.
I don't know.
They lost by 50, allowed 70, and they're on the road, and they're 3.5 point favorites. 3.5 point favorites. Lost by 50, allowed 70.
That's almost like an auto bet for the Broncos.
3.5 point favorites, and I'm slamming that bitch. I'm slamming that bitch.
Because what does
I might
Vegas
slam
know?
them minus 17.5. Just watch.
All right. Well, if you do that, I might get in on that action.
I will say one of the last things I want to say before I know we're about to conclude. They gotta flex that Miami Buffalo game from 1 o'clock or from noon.
Oh, I know. I don't know if they can because it's early season. I think it's like
too
later
early.
season scheduling is allowed to be flexed.
Isn't
It's
it
like, damn, man.
Isn't it the Jets Sunday night though?
Jets,
Yeah,
Chiefs,
Jets,
and then
Chiefs.
Monday
We don't
night's
need to see
also
the Jets. We don't need to see Zach Wilson.
No.
Sack
or
himself.
Trevor Siemian, who they just signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over
nobody
under
wants to watch that.
9.5 Taylor Swift comments during that prime time
Oh,
game.
she's gonna keep half of the audience there. If she's at the game, she's gonna keep people are gonna be like, all right, I'm just here to see Taylor Swift. I could care less about the outcome of this game. Chiefs are up by 30 because the Jets stink, and they are fighting amongst themselves already. They're already falling apart. Aaron Rodgers on the McAfee show today came out and said, "You all need to grow up." Like he told the Jets players, "Grow up, show some maturity. You guys are acting like fucking children." It's like, trouble in paradise.
Yikes.
But that's all I got for Thursday night. Anything else you guys want to add before we call it a night? Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
That's all.
Let's flex that Broncos Bears game to 3 a.m. on Wednesday.
Yeah, just get it the fuck off there.
That one out of the way.
The first NFL blackout since
Oh,
2013. Come on. Come on.
Just no, don't show it. No one wants to watch this. This is a rough one. But it could be so bad, it could be good. The Broncos can't stop anybody.
We saw that Broncos Colts game last year. We thought it's gonna be so bad, it's gonna be good, and then they proved us wrong.
It was just so boring. Oh my God, kill me. Alrighty, that's all we've got for you guys for this one. We will see you all at the end of the week. You will continue to get your recap videos of our 4 teams, and you will continue to get our preview videos of our 4 teams. And that's all I've got. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.